Hi Divine Souls, this is Nyla Newman. Welcome to Twin Flame Journey 3D to 5D. This channel is about love, relationship, and twin flames from a 5D perspective, which is the spiritual galactic point of view. Before I dive into answering this question, are twin flames the only connection that have telepathy? I want to first address telepathy between twin flames. So you'll notice that prior to meeting your twin flame, you're not going to experience any type of telepathy with your karmic relationship. You'll have a normal connection. You have your own thoughts. The other person has their own thoughts. And the two of them never really connect like that. So when you meet your twin flame will be the person that's going to activate your telepathy. So what I noticed in my connection is that my telepathy was activated when I first met my twin flame. But the telepathy didn't kick in until we actually had our first disagreement. So when I first met him, it was just a normal encounter. He would pop into my head occasionally. It was not anything obsessive like that. It was just normal. He would just pop up one or two times. So it was normal. What was really abnormal in the connection was that we had our first disagreement, and then from that point on, he kept on reappearing to my head constantly every single day for like 2 weeks. And that's not normal. That's not really normal for somebody you don't care, someone you just met, you don't have any attraction for this person, but all of a sudden this person just keeps on going to your head over and over again. And this fight seemed to really bother you for some strange reason, even though this person is just somebody who is not very special or important to you. So you think, okay? So this is what got my attention, was that this obsessive thinking that you can't get rid of this person in your head even though you want to, and that this person is not really that significant in your life. Especially if you just met this person, you only know them for like 1-2 months. They're not anybody really important or profound for you to have these type of thoughts about. So this is where I start noticing that there's something different with this. There's something different about this connection. After when me and my twin flame made up, because after our disagreement, we agreed to actually not be friends anymore, go our own ways, because we are different, we have different values, we had a miscommunication, and we just cut ties. My twin flame reached out, he apologized, he said, nah, I want to be friends, and then we started things over again. And then when we were having our chat, I asked him that, was he thinking about me obsessively? Was I in his thoughts a lot? Was he always replaying this fight in his head? And he's like, yeah, I was replaying the fight in my head a lot. So that's like, okay, there's something going on here. This is not normal, definitely not normal. So this is when I start cluing in about the telepathy between the two of us, which before him, I never experienced this with anybody. And this is really before I knew anything about twin flames too. So this was something I clued in, I kept notice of it, and then it kept on happening more and more. So the more we got into disagreements and more arguments, the more telepathy would be stronger, more pronounced. That's one thing I want to share with you, is that the DF will be more telepathic and psychic than the DM. Just because, number one, the female energy is more connected to the spiritual realm. Number two, the DM is traumatized, much more traumatized. They're in a lower vibration. So when you're operating in a lower vibration, in a lower state of consciousness, you're not going to have these type of spiritual gifts. So this is why in this journey, one twin will be more telepathic, more psychic than the other twin. Okay. Now the other thing I want to share with you is that because this connection is it's going to activate your psychic abilities and your telepathy, and it's really going to heighten your empathy. It's going to be very difficult for you to notice and differentiate when is your feelings versus their feelings. This is the number one problem that you're going to experience on this connection, especially when you're like very new on this connection. I will say 6 years and below, you're going to have a hard time discerning and differentiating between your energy and his energy. I know I only start noticing the difference right now, and this is me probably about 8-9 years into this connection. That's because my sensitivity, my discernment has increased significantly, which is the only reason why I would notice the difference between my energy versus his energy. But what you'll notice in this connection is that you'll pick up on their sadness, their despair, their regrets, remorse, depression, suicidal thoughts, and sexual thoughts. These are the type of thoughts you'll pick up from your DM when they're going through the dark night of the soul. And sometimes if you're going through this too, you don't know if it's your thoughts versus his thoughts. So now you're getting double dose. So now you're even lower. So I noticed that in my connection, there was a point where I was feeling low, and then I didn't realize that I was also pick up his vibration too, and then my vibration dropped even lower, and then I had suicidal thoughts, and I didn't realize that these were not my thoughts. They were his thoughts that I was picking up. So this is why it's important for me to make this video, to let you guys know that sometimes the thoughts you have in your head, they're not your thoughts. You're picking up on other people's thoughts, especially if you are an empath. Okay? Now, the question I want to answer is, are twin flame connections the only ones that are telepathic? I certainly think this was true until I had other telepathic experiences with other men. So when I raised my vibration, I became more telepathic. What had happened was that there was some situation where other men were attracted to me. One of them had a karmic soul tie to me, so I was able to pick up on his thoughts a lot easier. So sometimes I would actually ask him, are you thinking about me? Do you miss me? And then he'll say, yeah, I was thinking about you. I was having you in my mind. This was giving me a clue that this telepathy was actually not just from twin flames, but when you increase your vibration, you can actually tune into other people's thoughts. So he was one person I was able to tap in and know what he was thinking. There were other instances of other men as well too, where I was able to tap into their energy, and especially if I'm touching their hands, like handshake, for example, simple gestures like that, I'm able to pick up on their thoughts. And there were instances where I'm able to pick up and find out what they're thinking about, what their desires are. So there was very little privacy between me and the other person, because I knew exactly what they're thinking, and I knew that they had attraction for me. Meanwhile, I didn't share the same attraction. So I want to share with you this information so that way you have awareness now that when you're working on yourself, healing, raising your vibration, and you're vibrating over 250 hertz or higher, your spiritual gifts of telepathy, being psychic, and being empathetic, they're going to return to you, and you're going to be very sensitive to other people's energy and thoughts. You're going to absorb it actually. So just be mindful if you're working yourself, you're going through your ascension journey, these gifts are going to be returning to you. Now you have to work on sharpening your discernment so you can notice the difference between your energy, your thoughts versus the other person. Imagine you're going through a situation and you cannot differentiate between your thoughts and the other person you're picking up, and you don't know if it's your thoughts, their thoughts, and you're having these lower vibrational thoughts. If you're depressed, you're having anxiety, maybe they're not even yours, it's another person. Another situation I want to share with you is that there was one time I was consulting with a twin flame, and he had intense attraction and feelings for me. So much so that he couldn't differentiate between me and his real twin flame. And he actually thought I was his twin flame because of the obsessive thinking he was having, and as well as the telepathy that he was picking up on with me. So sometimes other DM will be activated and will have spiritual gifts be activated, and they too will actually have a hard time differentiating between their energy, their thoughts versus the other person. Okay? Now, another insight I want to share with you is that because this twin flame connection is very traumatic, and you guys are going to be triggering each other a lot, when you go through trauma, it actually also activates more spiritual gifts and abilities. This is another reason why I want to share this information. So when you are being triggered, your DM is triggering you, is you're being traumatized, or vice versa, doesn't matter who's doing the triggering, your spiritual gifts, your psychic ability is also going to become more heightened because you're being in danger. Okay, especially you're being traumatized at a soul level, you're being in danger. So therefore, this is also going to be activating more of your psychic abilities. You're just going to be able to be sensing things. You start noticing things are not right, but your DM is going to keep you very cloudy. That's another thing that you got to notice, that in this connection, the DM is very good at keeping you cloudy, keeping you stuck, keeping you confused, because a lot of these DMs, they are narcissists. So narcissists, that's one of the biggest talent they have, is keeping you in confusion, keeping you stuck, keeping you gaslighting you, making you question your reality, lying to you, manipulating you. These are all spiritual tests they're putting you through to help you develop and strengthen your spiritual gifts and abilities. Okay? If you want to know more about this connection and work on your ascension journey, healing yourself, overcoming your traumas, I have 2 membership sites on my website to help twin flames and light workers. I have the Ascension site, which all twin flames and light workers are going to need. It's going to be a lot of videos that's going to guide you through the healing process and help you understand more about yourself, this journey of ascension, and help you understand more about the spiritual realm. And then for twin flames, I have another site that's going to give you a solution to common problems on this twin flame connection, like the obsessive thinking, being isolated, being lonely, being heartbroken, being in third-party connections, third-party relationship. It's going to give you the spiritual perspective, so it's not going to be so hard on your soul. These perspectives are going to help you heal your consciousness, and you're going to be able to be lighter after watching some of these broadcasts. So if you're interested in watching those broadcasts to assist in your healing journey and your ascension journey, visit my website, www.3d-to-5d.com. Scroll to the bottom to sign up to become a member. With that, I want to thank you for tuning in this broadcast. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.